Listen and choose one. Choose the best response.
I think I recorded over my interview notes by accident.
Could you validate my parking ticket?
Would you mind swapping presentation slots with me?
Did you get reimbursed for the conference travel?
Why was the elevator inspection sign posted today?
I won't be able to co-lead the workshop next week.
Didn't the pottery studio close at 9?
Did you finish transcribing the interview?
I've got some edits for your grant proposal.
Are you joining the midnight breakfast during finals?
We're low on toner in the design lab.
Listen to a conversation.
Have you decided between the internship in Chicago or the one in Denver?
Not yet. Chicago pays more, but Denver's team works on projects I actually care about.
That's a real trade-off. How much more does Chicago pay?
About 20%, but honestly, I think I'd regret picking the paycheck over the work.
Sounds like you already know which one you're picking.
Two.
I accidentally exposed an entire roll of film in the darkroom yesterday.
Oh no, was it from the assignment shoot?
Yeah, the whole roll. I must have opened the canister under the safe light without thinking.
That's rough. Do you have time to reshoot before the deadline?
Barely, but I'm heading out this afternoon to try.
Three.
I think I need to talk to my upstairs neighbor about his drum practice.
The late night sessions again?
Yeah, it's been almost every night this week, well past when it used to stop.
Have you noticed if anything changed recently, like a schedule shift?
Actually, now that you mention it, he mentioned starting a new job with a late shift.
Listen to an announcement at a university event.
Starting next week, the university is launching a bike share program with stations at 6 locations across campus. Students can unlock a bike using the Campus ID app, and the first 30 minutes of each ride are free. After that, a small hourly fee applies, and bikes must be returned to any station by midnight.
Listen to an announcement at a university club meeting.
Hey everyone, before we start tonight's project, I want to go over some updated safety rules for the woodshop. Anyone using the table saw or router now needs to complete a short refresher demonstration with a staff member, even if you were certified last semester. Sign-ups for refresher slots are on the clipboard by the door.
Listen to an announcement at a university event.
This is a reminder that bound copies of theses must be submitted to the graduate office by the end of next month. The binding service in the library basement offers same-day turnaround, but only if submitted before 2 in the afternoon. Students are encouraged to have their documents finalized well before the deadline to avoid delays.
Listen to an announcement on the university radio station.
This is a reminder that the Campus Emergency Alert System will run a test this Wednesday at noon. Students will receive a text message and email clearly marked as a test, and no action is required. Anyone not currently receiving emergency alerts is encouraged to update their contact information through the student portal.
Listen to a talk on a podcast about marine biology.
How does a shark find a fish hidden completely under sand, with no visual or scent trail to follow? The answer is a sense humans don't have at all: electroreception, the ability to detect faint electrical fields produced by other living things. Every muscle contraction in a living animal, including something as simple as a gill moving or a heart beating, generates a tiny electrical signal. Sharks detect these signals using small, jelly-filled pores on their snouts, called the ampullae of Lorenzini, which are sensitive enough to pick up electrical fields measured in billionths of a volt, among the most sensitive biological sensors known. This sense becomes especially useful in the final moments before a shark strikes prey, since a shark's eyes actually roll back for protection during an attack, leaving it briefly unable to see its target at all. Electroreception fills that gap, guiding the final strike using electrical signals alone, even without any visual confirmation of the prey's exact position. Some researchers believe sharks may also use electroreception for a second purpose entirely, sensing the Earth's own magnetic field as they swim through it, potentially helping them navigate across long migratory distances. Next, we'll look at how researchers are testing this navigation hypothesis using tagged sharks tracked across entire ocean basins.
Listen and choose. Choose the best response.
Can you help me carry these display boards?
Where did you leave the spare charger for the camera?
What time does the print shop open on Saturdays?
Listen to a conversation.
I've been thinking about switching my thesis topic this late in the process.
That's a big decision. What's making you consider it?
My current data just isn't showing the pattern I expected, and I'm not sure it ever will.
Have you talked to your advisor about a smaller pivot instead of a full switch?
Not yet, but that's probably smarter than starting completely over.
2.
How's the planning going for the charity 5K?
Pretty well, though we still need volunteers for water stations along the route.
I can post something in the community group tonight.
That would help a lot. We're short about 10 people right now.
I'll see what I can do to fill that gap.
Listen to a talk on a podcast about linguistics.
Why does English have both the words cow and beef for what is biologically the exact same animal? The answer involves a process linguists call lexical borrowing and a particular chapter of English history that left a permanent mark on the vocabulary. After the Norman conquest of England in 1066, French became the language of the ruling class for centuries, while English remained the language spoken by ordinary people, including farmers who raised the animals. This created a pattern where the English-speaking farmer's word for the living animal, like cow, pig, or sheep, stayed in everyday use, while French-derived words like beef, pork, and mutton became attached specifically to the meat served at the tables of French-speaking nobility. This kind of borrowing isn't unique to English, and it isn't always about class divisions. Languages regularly borrow words for concepts, foods, or technologies that arrive from elsewhere, often keeping something close to the original pronunciation. Sometimes a borrowed word coexists with a native equivalent for centuries, gradually taking on a slightly different shade of meaning or level of formality rather than fully replacing the original. Linguists point out that heavy borrowing doesn't happen randomly. It tends to follow patterns of trade, conquest, and cultural prestige, and the direction of borrowing usually flows from whichever culture holds more political or economic influence at the time into the language of the group with less. Next, we'll look at how this same pattern of prestige-driven borrowing shaped Japanese vocabulary during its long historical exchange with Chinese.
Listen to a talk on a podcast about astronomy.
Why do we only ever see one side of the moon from Earth, even though it's constantly orbiting us? The answer is a phenomenon called tidal locking, and it's the result of a very slow gravitational tug-of-war that played out over billions of years. Early in its history, the moon likely rotated on its axis at a different rate than it orbited Earth, meaning different sides would have faced us at different times, much like most other moons and planets. But Earth's gravity pulled unevenly on the moon's slightly uneven mass distribution, creating a gravitational bulge on the moon itself, similar to the tidal bulges oceans experience on Earth. This bulge acted like a kind of brake. Earth's gravity kept tugging on that bulge, gradually slowing the moon's rotation down over enormous spans of time, until the moon's rotation period and its orbital period around Earth matched exactly. Once that happened, the same face stayed pointed toward Earth permanently, since the moon was now rotating at precisely the same rate it orbits us. This same tidal locking process affects many moons throughout the solar system, and given enough time, it can theoretically happen between any two bodies locked in a close gravitational relationship, not just a planet and its moon. Next, we'll look at evidence suggesting Earth itself may be gradually tidally locking to the moon as well, though the process would take vastly longer than the age of the universe so far to complete.